Welcome to our mock draft. NRL Supercoach first mock draft of the year. We're doing a 12-team league, 17 players per team. Burgz and I will be drafting from the pre-built list, which is quite frankly pretty shocking. Miles, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, mate. I'm interested to see what the positioning is like, and how Supercoach rates some players. Maybe a little bit different to what you and I think, but all in all, Supercoach always gets me every year. I hate it and love it at the same time.
It's a fickle mistress, isn't it? I was pretty devastated last year in our comp. Top point scorer all year, just dominated. Missed out on the minor premier prize to young Jock Wallace, and got knocked out in the semis by the team who had the lowest points for in the comp and scraped into eighth, and had Gus Crichton go off for 300 points. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, look, it was a bit of a thing. We both got knocked out in the semis. We wanted to meet each other in the grand final. I know how much, we love our matchups together. Sometimes you get me. Most of the time, you get me, actually. And when I get a win over you, it's always great to get a win over a former champion.
Mate, it won't happen again, so don't stress about it. So look, everyone, for drafts, the thing you need to know here is when you go to NRL, you're going to automatically land on the homepage. Key thing is to switch across to draft, and then it's a bit hard to find. If you go to switch and join league, you scroll down there just to join mock drafts. It's going to give you a few options. I would recommend going to a 12-team league with 17-player rosters, but that's an easy way to get some practice in. Don't worry too much about this list. This list is all based on 2022 averages, so don't be afraid to have a scroll down and say, you know what, actually, I like Dylan Brown. Or scroll down even further and say, I might enjoy Joe Tarpanay. He finished the year on fire last year, but his average only reflects the whole season. So we're going to go through a lot of hidden secrets, guys, and guys who will probably guarantee that you're in the finals for your league and definitely help you win your league too. So, yeah, diehard Supercoach fans here, drop a note in the comments if you have any questions or anything like that as well. Okay, look, we're 20 seconds out here. Miles, you've taken the second pick, I see.
Yeah, you know me. I like to get in there early every year. I feel like once you've got one of the top four picks, you can definitely start off quite well. Outside of that, it gets a bit sparing, but there are some real hidden gems as we will discuss. Anyway, looks like we're getting underway.
I'm worried about this because you could just take exactly who I want here. So first pick, Ryan Pappenhausen on the order there. Miles, who are you considering?
Look, Paps is nice, but he's going to be out for a long period of time. I can't go past last year's Dally M, though. Nicho Hynes, for me, has got to be the number one pick. Just phenomenal across the board as far as attacking stats go and solid in defence.
For mine, it's an easy one too. I'm going to go the other halfback, Nathan Cleary. I think Penrith won't be as effective in attack in general as a team, but I think most of that suffering is going to happen on that left edge where they lose kick out. So Luai, Tungo, was Taylor May. It might be Tur, it might be Taruva. At this point, those guys could struggle a bit.
Yeah, look, I think Penrith do take a bit of a step back, and that is what I was weighing up there, whether it be Hynes or Cleary. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Cleary gets so many extra points off kicks as well, and he's also the goal kicker for his team. Both players are, so I feel like they're a good 1-2 punch if you're up there in the top four.
Here. I've got my next pick, Joe Tarpanay. I'm just going to quick fire that one. Get him in the front row. The front row is a wasteland. It's totally barren this year. If you don't get a good front row early, you might as well wait to the back end for some of those other guys who are underperforming. Miles, who you look at here? You got a couple of picks in a row, so you might as well make one, then talk through.
Yeah, look, first of all, I'm going to go with Isaiah Yeo, super solid for me last year as well. Averages about 60 a week. And then what I want to do is go for someone who's got a bit more of that upside, bit of firepower, also a second rower. I've gone for Hamoli Olakau'atu.
Wow,
okay. I think Manly are going to be much better than they were last year. I mean, we saw that in the preseason challenge. They were doing pretty well. And Olakau'atu's been killing it for the last 2 years.
Yeah, they could be an attacking juggernaut. Might struggle a bit on D. I like Dave Fafita at this point, and anyone who bought Dave Fafita last year knows he had to pay the 5th pick to get him last year. So, if you can get him in the what was that, the 3rd round, I'm taking that value any day.
Yeah, definitely. There are some guys here that had a better year than him last year, obviously. But with his undeniable talent, if he gets the ball, great pick.
Let's move through here. So this is where it gets a bit tough, and I've got 50 seconds. Offran Gowie was really good last year. Meany will get runs at fullback, not the whole season. There's more Talo there, Talakai, Lomax, Adam Dewey, Brian Toe, Ruben Cotter, John Bateman. I'm going to take Brian Toe at this point. And he's another guy. He cost a 12th pick last year. So first rounder, you had to pay up big for Brian Toe. And, he had an injury-affected season last year. He may get that left spot back too. Left could struggle a bit, but it's still better than the right outside of Stephen Crichton. So I think Toe could be up in that sort of third, second round conversation this year.
Oh, absolutely. Had a phenomenal finish to the season. I think it was one of the years where he played a lot of time without having an injury. The guy that I'm actually going to take and shore up my halves combination here is Adam Dewey. I love him to get him here because he's actually got that explosive talent, as we've spoken about numerous times. And if he plays 6, like I think he will, then he's going to have a great season. And then on the back of that, this might be a little premature, but I like him more than some other centre wingers that are listed here: Talakai, Katoa, Lomax. But I'm actually going to go for Jesse Ramian above all of those guys. Super solid in defence and can break a lot of tackles.
Ramian's risky. I feel like a lot of people would say go Talakai, go Lomax, go somewhere else.
I see Talakai as more of a risk than Jesse Ramian.
Okay. From my side, I'll just quick pick here. I've got a center wing, halfback, front rower, second row. There's a few guys who are good here. I'm going to skip past these guys. I think Lomax has potential, but St. George don't buy into. Sam Walker, very exciting at the Roosters. They could kill it. Ruben Cotter was a beast last year. The guy I'm going to go for, though, is John Bateman at this point. And again, I am a bit of a sucker for previous pedigree and people returning to the norm. John Bateman was a first-round talent when he was in the NRL last, and he had that final season that was a bit personal injury affected, which has tainted everyone's view of him, I think. But he comes back. He's a bit older. It is risky, but the upside is that he's the best back rower in the comp for Supercoach. So I've got no concerns about that. Following that, my rationale here is you want players from good teams, typically, in your outside back. So Dan Tupou, while he's not an exceptional talent, he's interesting to me. Nofaluma has had that pedigree of top 5 before. Matt Burton could be very interesting too. Joseph Sorley, he could make that leap. Colway could make that leap. Ben Hunt is Ben Hunt. There's a lot of talent here. Tom Trbojevic is there. He's not going to be there in your real draft at that point.
Yeah, I think they're given a little bit with that. I think if we want to stay true, we don't pick Tom Trbojevic here.
Right, we'll leave Turbo. I've gone Matty Burton instead. I just think he's going to be really good. Goal kicking, another season in the halves, another season development. Doggies will be better.
Solid. Yeah, I think Burton might go a bit later than people expect as well. And same with Cody Walker. But I'm back on the clock here, and I really love what I saw from this guy in the trials, even though he played out of the position he's probably going to play. But I love Cobbo this year. Yeah. I just think his explosive talent, he's going to be another year removed from that, kind of rookie unplayed status. He'll really go for it, I reckon.
Just in that comment we had, do you love Cobbo enough to make a face purple wide eyes face? You got next.
And with my next pick, because I'm pretty up, I'm going to take another super solid guy in the backs, and I expect the Rabbitohs to have a pretty decent year this year, so I'm going to go with Jai Arrow.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to go Cody Walker.
No.
Cody Walker, oh, he's got that previous pedigree.
No, I already have a 5'8". Adam Dewey is my 5'8", so I've got to go for the talent.
And you said South, so I was going to be excited there. Look, for me at this point,
Cody Walker, where he is in this draft, isn't really realistic. So I want to keep it pretty simple.
So Joseph Sully, exciting. Then Turbo. I got Reed there at hooker, which is kind of interesting. Fisher Harris is good at 20 seconds. There's a lot of guys to pick from here. I'm going to take Sully. I just think he makes that leap this year. He's been good for a long time, but he has had some frustrations offensively early in his career. There have been a few times where I think with a little bit of extra polish, he would have finished off more tries. So I'm happy with that.
Oh, for sure. He's one of those guys where you get him the ball, he can do wonders with it. So he proved that at the World Cup when he was running the ball from kick returns. Not going to be doing that this year, though. It's a bit of a worry.
Then at this point, I don't mind Reece Walsh. I'll tell you what, if you didn't have a 5'8" Jack Wyden at this point, you could do much worse than that.
Yeah.
Blake or Solomon are, they're exciting. Kiri, if you didn't have a 5'8", is good too. Actually, the 5'8" position is deeper than I thought. Even with Ponga. In fact, I might make a leap here and just jump straight to Ponga at my fullback spot.
Huge call on Kalen.
Ponga's been pedigree before.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's guaranteed. We're doing a mock here. But dual position too, it's useful.
Yeah, I'm going to go with his with a guy who plays the same position in Reece Walsh. I think a year at a better club, he should get a bit more of those opportunities to finish off plays, and then also provide for his outside backs. So he should take a leap as far as Supercoach goes.
And with your Dewey pick as well, it's good to know that Tola thinks that Tigers will play the finals too. So you're looking all right.
Look, I think if the Tigers are going to go far, they're going to be relying on Dewey and a lot of other players. But I'm going to be looking to shore up my front row spot here, and I'm going to take James Fisher-Harris. I don't think I can really go wrong with that pick there. Solid player.
Absolutely solid
player. Yeah.
So at this point of the draft, when you're doing your draft at home, guys, you want to be making sure you've got a bit of balance in your roster. So right now, I need a hooker.
We both do,
row,
which is scary.
Row, 2 center wings. So that hooker spot is probably the biggest challenge, because if I look at hooker, it's pretty barren, actually. Do you have a hooker, Miles?
Yeah. No. So we're looking to be taking a punt on some guys that are either moved to a new team or, with guys like Connor Watson, probably not going to get the minutes. So we've really got to look to see who's going to shore up those spots with the first couple of rounds of the season. That's
right, gone Brandon Smith. He's way undervalued. He's been the Australian hooker the year before. He's at the Roosters. It's a good spot to be. And now at this point, because I've picked my spine position as well, and again, it's going to be harder in your real draft, but because I picked those well, it means I can go front row, second row, center wing, take some gambles. Right away, I've got Fanua Blake or Sofa Solomon on the board. You could do worse than Hastings, goal kicking at the Knights. They're not great, but they'll play good attacking footy. Max King, I don't think he has the upside. Barnett's interesting. Barnett's had a period where he's been really good. Hennessini could explode this year. I think he's a young guy who could do it. Pangai's there. He's my sleeper. I'm going to take him in the next round. There's a little sneak peek. But yeah, I think I'll take...
So who are you going with here? Fanua Blake? Yeah.
I'll take Fanua Blake. Yeah, I just think he's...
eyeing him off there, hoping you wouldn't take him. But Fanua Blake, big body, so he breaks a lot of tackles, a lot of post-contact meters as well. Hard man to bring down. Offloads as well. Key thing for him. He needs to play a bit better than he did last year, but I think super solid at that position. I'm going to go for a bit of explosiveness in this position and take the man who could be the leading try scorer this year in Josh Adokar.
The Fox, Ramian Cobbo Adokar. You got your back row full as well. You need a hooker.
I do.
Wing.
Yeah.
You're stuffed at hooker.
Look, I feel like right now is the opportunity where I am going to be taking a hooker. I feel very confident in my center wingers, and normally in a lot of drafts, I don't take centre wingers early, and I kind of leave it thinking I can take a punt on guys later. But I'm thinking that a solid option is Wade Egan for the Warriors. He's going to be the starter there, and he's going to get a lot of minutes.
I'm absolutely shocked that you didn't go Josh Hodgson.
Oh, mate. I don't trust him. I just don't trust the durability. Like, it's tough. Like, you know, I get you. I get where you're coming from. He could potentially be a top 5 Supercoach hooker this year easily, just on attacking stats alone, because that's all he is, attacking stats. But yeah, I've got to see some football from him.
Para's one of the best teams he's played for too. This Parramatta roster. I mean, look, it could be tough sledding early. We'll go Pangai. So I took Penasini last round. I'll take Pangai in the second row. He misses the first 4 weeks. So he's actually one that may be not this low, but pretty low in your draft at home. So if you can get Pangai and you back yourself to win a few early games, just cover for him. He's a guy who could average 70 plus. I'm not saying he will, but he's going back to playing that front row role, just high intensity, high work rate, a lot of offloads. He could be a 60, 70 plus average player.
And one of those guys who has, you know, the experience in a number of aspects as well. So you can't really go wrong in that regard. I'm back up on the clock here. I've only got
20 seconds to pop.
I'm shoring up whether to go for a front rower or whether
you feeling the pressure, Moss? Feeling the pressure?
Yeah. I am feeling a little bit of the pressure, but I think this guy, Luke Thompson, could have one of the best years we've seen. This Dogs team is only getting better at this point in time. He's going to be feeding Reed Marnie as well, opening up those opportunities, and he's a good offloader of the ball, which is going to get me some extra points there as well.
Yep, I'm a big fan. Big fan of Luke Garner. Sorry, he's going to be really good.
Luke Thompson.
Oh, you went Luke Thompson. Sorry. I thought you went Luke Garner. Luke
no,
Thompson,
that's okay.
He's done it too. He's averaged 60 plus before. He could definitely do it.
Okay, this is where it gets a little tough, but I'm going to go with a guy that I feel like some people may have forgotten about, and he also plays at the Dogs. Raymond.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you took him.
Why?
That leaves me to take Katoni Staggs.
Yeah, I did look at it between Katoni and Raymond.
I'm a big Katoni fan. Look, that leaves me with Brian Toe, Suoli'i, Penasini, and Staggs. 3 young centre wings who could make that leap. And look, when you're looking at centre wings, either their situation has to improve or you have to think that they're going to make a leap. And those 3 guys are leap guys for me. Look, next up here, we're at the bench now. So at this point, you want to start rolling the dice a bit. Like it's very tempting to say, Teague Wilton's got some upside, but it's tempting to say Dane Laurie's good depth, Brian Kelly's good depth, Nathan Brown, Dan Safidi, but these guys don't have the upside that you want out of a player on your bench. So you want someone who you can pick up and you'll either drop them or you'll lock them in for a long time.
So this is around the time where I start to look to maybe some rookies that might burst through for injuries or unforeseen changes in the squad.
Well, here's the burst. Eli Katoa at Storm. He scored a nice try in that trial game, just running a straight, clean line off Cam Munster, Kenny Bromwich, Felice Kafusi have made a career out of it. Eli Katoa is a better ball runner than either of those guys. I'm not saying a better player, but he's so dangerous. He's going to be so good this year.
Yeah, so is this bloke, I think, removed from a terrible injury last year. Xavier Coates is going to be my final centre winger. Got to pick him up there. He's going to be playing that left edge as well, where he's going to probably score a lot of tries and look good before he got taken out.
I nearly went Coates there too. Coates is at the Storm. If they're playing a weaker team, you probably can't captain him, but you could vice captain him and roll the dice on that. Sean Johnson was far down a couple of years ago.
So I'm back up on the clock here, and I want to go for a guy who we see a lot of buys this year, which is going to make a big difference to Supercoach every single week. So I want a guy who can sub in for a spot that's taking on 3 players with second row. So I've gone with Corey Harawira-Naera. When he gets the opportunity, he's an absolute theft of Supercoach points. He just steals them all over the park, and I absolutely love him, getting him this late.
I love that too. I'm going to go with a different guy here. And we talked about Garner, but I just took Katoa in the second row spot. So you probably can't get both those guys in your home draft. Atoa Kamanu, is who I'm taking. He had a mozza of tries in his first season. He had an injury-affected season last year. He runs off Coruscant this year. He was a bolter, I thought, coming into last year at maybe an Origin jersey or something like that. Like he's such a dangerous ball runner. He was really good in the trial games too.
Yeah, it was part of the squad, I think, for a bit, and that definitely helped him out.
Just quickly before I go through, Christian Welch is a guy to look at here. He's averaged 60 plus in the past. He's coming off an Achilles, which is tough. Tariq Sims is a guy who's averaged highly before as well. He's a guy to look at. The Titans looked really good in their trial game, so you could think about that. Jackson Paulo, I don't rate as a player, but he's going to be wearing at the Roosters, so you think about that. Who was it I was thinking of? I was thinking of Isaac Thompson, though. I talk that he's just going to be a locked-in winger at South. The man can score a try, and being a South winger is an easy place to score tries.
Look, on that right edge as well, I think Tane Milne is in the mix. So he's not quite, I guess, locked down that spot. It kind of helps with Josh Mansour and Jackson Paulo leaving. So you definitely know it's a 50-50 call there. The guy I'm going with is actually his kind of first real proper start at his position. And I've gone for Hayes Perham at the Dogs. Show a lot of faith in the kid, especially when I think the Dogs are going to be a good team this year. He is going to be an integral part of making that work. Now, I'm looking to shore up my bench options. And a guy who is also another dual position player who I can get pretty late here is the Hammer, Tabuai Fido. Got to take him. I love the Hammer. I think he can be an X-factor player just on speed alone. And if Wayne Bennett can really get him working, then he has a potential future as being a top Supercoach pick.
Yeah, Hammer. So the problem is his floor is so low. So you're gambling really hard on him just being one of the best players in the comp.
I'm throwing darts at the board.
Yeah, if he's pretty good, you fail though. Talau, I like. Hopgood. Hopgood's really interesting. I'm short up in the forwards already, but I'll look at Hopgood in real competitions. But I think I'm going to go with Tommy Talau at this point. Talau looked so explosive in trial games. He's a guy who's got a lot of good intangibles, a lot of physical traits, and he's a year older in a team at the Tigers that's getting better as well. So I'm optimistic.
Tommy Talau.
Through here.
Your last pick really interests me. Not where I thought you'd go. I thought you'd maybe take a punt on a dual position player, or maybe potential on a young rookie. Jermaine Hopgood was sitting there. Do you not have faith in the Paraboy?
I got the forwards already. And look, my back row. You got Katoa there. I'm happy to start him. I've got Tarpanay and Pangai who both swap positions. So you want that dual position ability. I would have liked, and I got to look at the list again, someone to cover 5'8" and halfback.
Same.
I could find someone like that.
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, let's have a look here while we're here at who is left over. Not selected. No, not bad. I don't know if we even can do that. Scroll. I mean, is there anyone else here that was left over that you really like? Like a Tariq Sims, Mamalo as upside.
Yeah, look, Hopgood was one of those guys as well. Trent Loiero is interesting for me. A lot of talk that he'll be getting the starting position at the Storm. So that'll be the Kenny Bromwich spot that he'll be taking there. So Kenny Bromwich probably coming off a solid 30-40 points base. Anything on top of that to win. If he can replicate
Sean
that.
Russell. if he gets a starting spot at Para, he has proven he can score a try.
Yeah, it's
Not
just
a
a
great pace.
coin toss, isn't it, with Sean Russell? I don't know if he'll get that
Para's
starting
pretty
spot.
uncertain, but Russell's good in the trials, so
I don't mind Chan's Nickel Clockstad there. You just scrolled past him as well, playing centre this year. So it's tough with the Warriors because they're a team that's predicted not to do that well. Therefore, you don't think they're going to score that many points. So that would mean that Chans won't have as much of an impact. I think a lot of his impact came from being a hooker from, a fullback from kick returns was a big, weapon of his, breaking a lot of tackles. So if he can recreate that form at centre, I don't have a problem with it.
One thing to keep in mind with Nickel Clockstad is even in that good Canberra side, he averaged 55. So he'd need to find a bit of diversification in his game to be worth it. One guy I really liked was Metcalf until he got hurt. He'd be one I might roll the dice on. One thing to look at too is the Penrith team in general with the remaining guys. So Mitch Kenny, there's talk that he'll play about 30 minutes at the start of the game. And Sonny Luke will come on for about 50. So if he gets named to start, that's not a guarantee. Taruva as well. If you just search, he's way down the list. You're going to have to search for him. But if you search Turu, you get Sonia Taruva. He'll be playing on the wing because Taylor May's out for the season. Golden.
Been flying up draft boards.
Sorry?
Been flying up draft boards to River.
Yeah.
Had some impressive showings at the World Cup as well. And if you can, turn that into some club form, unstoppable.
Yeah, he's pretty rock solid. But look, that winds down our mock draft. So let us know who we missed. Let us know who you would have picked at different spots. And are there any key players that are right down the list that you're looking at to make the league this year as well? Also, if there's anyone in Supercoach who wants to talk about, drop in the comments too. We'll see you next time.